If this is your first time joining me, my name is Vanessa Walker. I am the owner of Designs by V Walker, where I help with visual branding and social media designing. I also help you with strategizing and understanding the best ways to implement your business through those two channels, if you will, whether it's visual branding or social media. Just having a better understanding of how to align everything and feel really good about your business and help it grow organically, right? Everyone wants to grow organically versus trying to push. So with that said, today, I did promise you that today would be a little bit different. So it's not going to be the traditional, I have a topic and I'm going to train you on it today. Today, I am going to share a little bit more about me and about my business, how things have been going, and then where I see it going in the future, and some things that I have in my back pocket. And that's where you're going to come into play. You're going to help me really understand, what are some of the things that you're needing from me so I can create content that is specific to that and really help you shine within your business. I'm also going to use that information and translate that into my business. So when I'm working with you on a one-on-one basis, you feel good on having my individual attention and having a very guided and direct conversation versus sometimes I'm noticing our conversations go a little bit of everywhere. So we'll talk about all of the things. I promise you, I'm not going to make this super long and super sappy. But I think it's about time that I kind of rewind a little bit and share a little bit about my business and kind of what I do. I get that question a lot, what is it that you do? In the very beginning, it was all just content design, right? My goal in the beginning was, just to provide you social media content, whether it's, about a launch or just helping you with branding, understanding, content pillars and having an aesthetic and all of the things. So after a while, I noticed that it was starting to go in many different directions. A lot of you would ask me to do things outside of my scope, which was fine because you were stretching me, you were helping me understand really kind of what my ideal client is truly needing, right? So it's not just this one thing. There's a lot of layers that you're going through right now, and you decide to kind of come to me and ask me for guidance. And so I'm just I'm all over the place. I feel like I'm all over the place sometimes when it comes to my business. And a lot of the times when I'm talking to my clients, I really try to help you channel through, narrow it down a little bit. But for most of you, that really works. And then, for some of you that are just like me, it's a little hard to be extremely narrow like that when you're being asked a lot of things. So I'm going to back up 2 more steps before that and talking about starting my business and all of that good stuff. If you know me in my personal life, you know that I am a very spiritual person, and I'm very much learning about my energy and understanding kind of how my spirit works in the world and things like that. So super long story short, I was in a very abusive relationship back in college, and I truly believe the universe guided me to one of my really close friends. And even to this day, me and her may not talk every day, but whenever we do get that random text message to each other, it's nothing, no time has lapsed between us. But I feel like the universe guided me to her because she introduced me, and I feel like a lot of people were introduced this way, to The Secret, right? The book, The Secret. Oprah made it so big, and I feel like she really helped that book out a lot. But it was one of those things where I learned about that book. I promise you, me telling you this mini story, I'm gonna take you on a journey with me, and I promise you it's gonna make sense in the end. So she helped me understand The Secret. So I was one, and I've always been this type. If I have a really good feeling about something, I dive in, all the way in. And I probably watched one YouTube clip about The Secret and was this is it. Also, being in an abusive relationship, if you've ever been there, it's one of those things where you try to seek hope in every corner. Every place that you are introduced, you're just like, is there something that can like help me get out of this? And for me, abuse wasn't physical until the end, right? He was very emotional. He was very like psychologically abusive. Like when I say he chopped the hell out of my ego, like hard. I mean, like it got to the point where I felt raw some days. And so again, meeting my girlfriend, learning about The Secret, I was like all in, like whatever this is gonna teach me, like it gotta be better than what I'm doing right now. So I'm gonna dive in. When I tell you, when I made the conscious decision to practice anything that I learned in that book, and I mean like to the T to what they were doing in that book, and it came alive for me, I was a true believer. I have been a believer ever since. And if you're one of my girlfriends that like is like, what is all of this? I have no idea. Like, no, The Secret is where we're starting. And I always go down that road. And I realize, over the years, I have some girlfriends that take it and hold on to it and really run with it. And then I have other girlfriends that are like, she seems a little witchy. Like, that's not it for me. So again, receiving resistance, me coming from a very, raw state, like those times of resistance, like brings me back, right? So I have to learn, how to be okay in those moments when people are rejecting what I'm saying or may not understand what I'm saying. And I need to find a new way to paint the picture, if you will. So anyways, so moving forward in my life, I met my husband, and if you've read The Secret, let me know. And then 2, from the book, if you remember, the part where it's like, you live your life as if. Man, I was the girl that like pushed all of my stuff to like one side of the closet, everything. I always cooked for 2, and then here comes my husband. Like truly real story. So moving forward, I met my husband. We dated for a really long time, and then we got married, and he's always been like my number one supporter in just life, just anything life. He's always been the type where, he may feel like it's a little kooky when I'm deciding, but he understands like I'm gonna do it anyway. He was always supportive in any corner, and I ended up introducing him to my theories of law of attraction and manifestation, positive energy, frequency, all of this good universal guidance, all of this good stuff. And my husband is very Christian. So a lot of the things that we talk about, we make them parallel because he wants to keep it on the religious side, which if you read The Secret, it tells you to substitute the word universe for your version, right? Whether it's God, Buddha, whatever. So a lot of the times he would help me fill in the gap there of understanding, okay, this universal teaching is this in the Bible, right? Which I was totally okay with and really wanted to understand all the things, right? I'm just like a sponge. I want to learn all the things. So all of these years, he's always been like that, where he's, he'll go down these rabbit holes with me if I learn something. And then he'll say, okay, so from the Bible version, like this is what this looks like. And so he's like so supportive. So anyways, so then on top of that, all of these years, I have tried many different businesses. And when I say try businesses, it's more so like MLMs, network marketing, whatever you want to call it. And he's always been supportive. He's never judged me on making the decision to do it. Very trial and error, so to speak, and allowing me to win, allowing me to fail, and never, passing judgment on any of that. Especially when I made the decision to have my own blog at one time, he was like that was probably the first I've ever seen him like all in with me. And so, fast forwarding to now, I have Designs Baby Walker, and he's witnessing like something different inside of me. Like something about it is just, it's translating better for me. I'm connecting to it better. And so now he's gotten back to that space where he's like all in with me. And so supportive. Like he sends me so many things to like help me grow as a content creator. And then he also helps me grow, like sharing social media tips and tricks with you and just understanding business and entrepreneurship. Like because I think he's also in a very similar space. And then look, here goes my husband joining in, and I'm just talking about your ears must have been burning. I was talking about you. So he's in a very similar space, right? So he's a realtor, and so being a realtor, that you pretty much have your own business similar to entrepreneurship. And so, we both are very, we're going through the similar paths together. So a lot of the things that he learns, I share with him, or he shares with me, and then vice versa. Because even though we have two very different industries, what you're learning is the same, and you just apply it differently, right? You apply it accordingly. So anyways, so why am I using or choosing to use certain words and all of this good stuff? And, my cousin is on here. My cousin LaQuanda is on here, and she probably has already caught on where I was going. And so now my husband, he's gonna understand too. So, again, with my spiritual journey, I have gone through many different ways. I've learned so many different things. And the newest thing that I've learned is called human design. And yep, HD. And so my cousin just jumped right in. So human design. And I listen to a ton of podcasts. And I'm the type that if I get hooked onto your content, whatever it is, YouTube, podcast, Instagram, now TikTok, anything of the like, if I get hooked onto your stuff, I am willing to splurge on or binge all of your content. And that's just my type. I don't know. So anyway, I found this girl called the Manifestation Babe, and her using that as her title, so to speak, I was like, wow, that's really bold to use Manifestation Babe as, your name. And so I was like, I'll listen to it and give it a try and see what she said. Y'all, hooked. When I say hooked, I love all of her content. And as going through, her podcasts, she shared one of her spiritual teachers. Her name is Eaton something of the third. And they started talking about human design. And then later on in another podcast, the girl, Manifestation Babe, she shares how she used her human design for her business. So I'm like, okay, I gotta learn more about this. I have to understand what is she's talking about, charting, all of that good stuff. I don't understand what she's saying. So I'm sorry if y'all see my I have an instant going, and I can see the smoke coming in front of me. So anyway, so I learned I charted myself, I learned all the things, and if you have no idea what I'm talking about, it's completely okay. This is me not pushing this on you. I'm just sharing a little bit about me, being a little bit more open and sharing kind of where I am currently. So I am in the process of learning more about my human design, to the extent to where I got my husband involved. He's helping me learn, his human design and how we're connected, and learning about my human design. And if you're into human design, just to toss out there, I am a splenic projector 4/6. If that means anything to you, great, hit me up in DM. If not, you can do some research. I'm not going to go into all of that right now. But if you want me to, just let me know in a DM, and I will be happy to share with you all of the things. Again, learning about myself as this projector, like I just told you, I learned more about how my energy kind of works in the world, its responsibility in the world. And then I'm also I'm also meshing that with, things that I've learned in the past, and manifestation, law of attraction, things that I've learned from my husband, from Christianity, things like that. I'm putting all of these things together, and I understand I have an obsessive personality, right? So when I learn something, I get hooked. Hence, I will binge all of your content, right? I'm just that type. So right now I'm in that obsessive stage a little bit, and I'm fully aware and recognizing and understand, my husband is my guardrails, right? Because he tells me when to stop, when to chill, when to slow down. That's not going to be it. We're going with Jesus, type of thing. So, but yeah, so I'm learning all of the things just to kind of have a better understanding of my mechanics, right? Because that's essentially what energy is your mechanics. And learning that I'm a projector really let me know that a lot of the things that I was doing, I was kind of going against the grain of what my energy really desires. And then I took a moment and really listened internally, and I'm like, I've known this all along. I've known this forever. I have always talked about, I really love teaching. I really love sharing my knowledge, sharing my experiences. And if I could have that as a corporate job, like, I'm in. I've always said this, and I may have never like said it out loud to some people, but it's definitely one of those things, like, I've just known inside that, like, that's just something in me. So all of these positions that I've had in my corporate life have been little baby versions of it, but not to the degree that I feel like I deserve. So now having my design business really like let me know, like, yes ma'am, this is your space. Like, yes ma'am, like, all of my energy just feels so good having this business. And I think that's why my husband is like so into, talking positive with me about my business, and when he shares it with others, like, it's just such a good thing. And I think I may, just behave differently about it. And when I interact with my clients, is just more organic, and it feels good. But then also learning more about, me being a projector, and more specifically splitting authority, and, all of these things, 4-6, even more. It's one of those things where I'm at a crossroad. And this is where, I'm asking for your guidance, if you will. And if you know about human design, this is me waiting for my invitation, so to speak. But, I really just want to understand a little bit more about what you need from me, right? Being a projector, just to share a little bit about human design. So Naila, I'm not going to go like knee deep right now of what that is. But basically, learning about your human design is just understanding the imprint that was put onto your spirit at birth, right? So you were born with this, yes, but does parts of it open and close, and flourish and then hide a little bit? Like, all of these things happen for you throughout your lifetime, and it's just really understanding certain things. For example, with me being a projector, technically speaking, again, with what human design says, I am not an energy source. I do not create energy internally. Now, am I energetic? Yes, that's two very different things. But, a lot of the times when I'm feeling certain things, it's because I am a mirror of what's happening in front of me, right? I see it, I absorb it, and then I reflect it back out to you, hence being called a projector. But my problem, which I understand now, and I think I've kind of always understood this, is that it's technically being an empath, right? Where I absorb it, and sometimes I have a hard time releasing it back out. So do I get tired? Do I get frustrated? Am I bitter? Am I, just sometimes I'm just like, oh my God, I just want to go to sleep. I'm just exhausted. Yes, it's because it's me not releasing that energy back out into the world. So that's kind of happening right now in my business. I'm absorbing so much energy from so many different places, and I'm feeling stretched. I'm feeling kind of like lost in the moment. Like, I want to do all of these things. I want to help you everywhere, but I don't know how. I don't know how to kind of, like I told y'all in the past, like, to niche things down. Like, how do I niche these things down to where I'm not attracting all of these different type of people? I need to attract this one type of person, and it's okay right now. Like, right now, that's what I need. I need to attract this one type of person, and really just put all my energy into that. And so it's one of the understanding that it's not your energy, it's someone else's. You have to learn to wait and respond. Exactly, right? So like my cousin was saying, I have to understand that all of this energy that I'm getting is not mine, one, and release it, two, and then three, just understanding like, what am I going to do with this? You know, how am I going to use this for my benefit, or am I going to just like 100% reject it? So now when talking about my business, so bringing it back to my business, because I always want to do that for you, I'm in a place where I'm trying to understand, should content designing be my bread and butter right now? The beautiful thing, which I say a lot, is that my business is very by mouth, like grows by mouth, like by referrals. It's very rare that I get a client just out of thin air. There is no such thing like that for me. You're not the type that's going to come on Instagram, search content designer, or however I put it right now, and then see me and be like, boop, that's it. She's it. I'm going to hire her. That's not how it works for me. And I 100% accept that. The way that I get a lot of my clients is, I have a client and then she refers other people. She shares her experience with me. Or, if a friend comes to her and is like, man, I'm looking for somebody that does X, Y, and Z, like, then I get the phone call. And it just keeps going. And it's like a ripple effect. Like, it started with one person, and then now like the waves are just getting bigger and bigger. And it's like going into the ocean. It's like getting so big, which is so beautiful and like exactly how I want it, which is aligned with my human design, right? It's exactly what I want. But let me not use the word but, and it is attracting many different type of people, right? Because, I may have attracted this one person and then they know somebody that's maybe like 10 steps in front of them in their entrepreneur journey, and they meet someone behind them, ask them for a referral, which is me. And it's like, you really don't need me. But you're forcing yourself to want to use me as your content designer, but you're wanting to keep it up here. And a lot of the times people like that, they essentially want me to be their social media manager. And that's not me. I cannot do that. Like, that is exhausting. I don't think it's already I don't want to use the word exhausting for me, but like, it's already a lot for me to do my own content. Then I have these clients where I'm creating their content, but then you also want me to manage and post and all of these things for you as well. Like, that is like, me just talking about it, I feel tired already. So I'm attracting a lot of these people, and I'm okay with telling them no. I got a phone call from my girlfriend the other day, and, she described basically a social media manager, and I just had to tell her no. And I'm like, let me describe to you what I do. So in the future, you can just tell them no, just tell them no, for me. So, I'm working really hard to stay aligned to what feels good to me and what feels good to me in the moment. And, working with a lot of you, it always finds its way to feel so good. Even from the beginning, if it doesn't for whatever reason, you asking enough questions, we get there, right? And so, you get a better understanding of what I do, how can I help you, how can I help your business, business tips in general, things like that. And so, now I'm in a space where I'm trying to learn what's next, right? Because we all get to a point where we're trying to understand how to level up in our business, like how to do something bigger or add something else to our business. And sometimes for some folks, it's not a good idea to ever really level up to that degree and like adding more to your business. It's just more of perfecting and refining and making it more high class. But for me, I have this strong feeling that I need to add another layer to it. And I think I need to add another layer to it because with content designing, I do a lot of work. Versus me and you working together. It's really just you giving me instructions and then I work on the side. So I'm like a worker bee. And understanding my human design, I am not a worker bee. I've always known that. So with that said, it's kind of like, well, how can I be of value to you, in more of like a guide situation? My business coach even asked me if I was becoming a coach myself, and I was like, ooh, no, I don't think I want to be a coach, because me having a corporate job, I just feel like I can't give you the appropriate time. Like, I feel like you deserve, so if you're going to pay me and what coaches require, you need to have a lot more access to me. And I can't give that to you with me having a corporate job. Now, if this is kind of a mini glimpse of the universe showing me that like that's what's going to look like in the future, like you're going to be a coach in the end, I'm totally okay with that. But like, there's a lot of things that's going to happen in front of that. I can see there's going to be so many things that happens in front of that. So what I'm thinking are things like courses, like mini courses, or, I've been doing these mini trainings, but I'm recognizing that many of you need it in a different way, that I am forcing it through an IGTV live, Instagram live situation. And I feel like my type of girl, my type of client, that you need it in a different way. IGTV lives is just not how I connect with you, and I've never connected with you this way. This is just a way for us to have like live conversation, but we are more likely to talk in DMs. That's just kind of how my relationships have been with you. We're more likely to talk in DMs. We're more likely just to call each other. We're more likely to email. And so learning this way doesn't feel natural, and I can tell. And so I'm thinking about, going down a road where I pre-record trainings instead and then give it to you in the newsletter, or giving you a YouTube link and doing it that way, or I don't know what that looks like, but I see that's where I'm going. And I'm recognizing me trying to force this particular channel or this line of communication, is kind of hindering me on like my feed, like my reels and things like that. I can tell that, I don't have the energy anymore to do reels. I don't have the energy to create my own content. And I think it's just because I'm putting too much work into it. And, if you're one of my clients, you understand I teach you the complete opposite. It's like less is more. And I'm not living what I'm teaching. So it's like, that's highly disrespectful. So, you'll start to see, my feed is going to start changing. The way that I communicate with you is going to start changing. But I think we're all going to respond to it in a much better way, because it's going to feel natural to me. It's going to be what feels good to me. It's going to be how you and I connect and how we're going to align with each other. And yeah, I just think that it's going to be so much better. And I'm going to take this weekend and some of next week to really kind of lean into that, if you will, and dive into that information and really just allow myself to be guided. If you know me for a long time, I use that a lot. Like, I like to feel guided. Because in the end, crazy enough, as a projector, I guide you. So it's only right that I feel the same. I go through the same journey. So that's going to be my request from you, is to let me know, what do you need from me? That's so broad. Maybe I should narrow that down just a little bit more. What kind of content or business tips do you need from me? Do you need to understand, or let me just do it this way. Do you need to understand more about how to be an entrepreneur and be successful on social media, right? How to design your things, Canva, Instagram, what does it look like to connect with your followers and make them into clients? Let me know, where are you struggling in your business? It's something to where you need just a little bit more information. Maybe it's a graphic, maybe it's a mini training, maybe it's a live, maybe it's, a reel that you get from me. Maybe it's, some the consultation that we have together, and you get one-on-one support. And I create templates for you and then, help you flourish behind that. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm wanting to learn more about that. So, it's going to be good. I promise you, I'm not going to just like disappear on you. So just don't feel that. That's not going to happen, because I fully am aware that, the algorithm hates you if you just fall off the face of the earth a little bit. But, it is one of those things that I'm going to get a lot. I'm receiving a lot more clarity in this journey of being an entrepreneur, and just, what I'm learning in my spiritual journey, I'm applying it into my business. One of those things, is maybe sharing a little bit more about my journey and learning about human design, right? I've had some of you already DM me, of like, tell me more. Because maybe you and I have talked about it on the side, or, my girlfriend here has said that she wants to DM me later and we'll talk about it. Maybe I share a little bit more about human design and then how you can apply that to your business, right? Because in the end, everything's going to come back to business. Whatever I talk to you about, it's going to come back to business. But maybe, I think if I find ways to be a little bit more open with you and share my experience, hence being a projector, that's going to be more beneficial to you, and it's going to be more valuable to you, and it's going to be worth your time, versus me just like looking like a teacher standing in the front of the class, just yapping away. I want to be able like have a space for you to, like, if I give you something, that you quickly know how to apply it. That is that has always been so important to me. I'm not going to give you just shit that is just going to float in the air. I want you to know how it applies to you and how you can like make it happen right now. So, not necessarily in the extent of like a coach. I'm not going to do that, but more, like I said, like a guide. Here's one of my minions. He's singing. You gonna sing for everybody? Come sing. Look. Say hey.
Here, say hey.
Hey. My name is Jordan.
My name is Jordan.
Yes, and I like to sing.
I love to sing.
So that is today.
Oh.
That is. Can I help you? What do you? Oh no! Don't touch that. Going for my incense bowl.
Or the mommy phone.
Yes, you can have mommy's phone in just a moment, okay? Yes.
Or the mommy phone.
Yeah, now both my minions are in here. Okay. So I guess sharing these type of moments is gonna be. It's okay. It's okay.
Yes, now.
Go on.
Where we feel is inside out. How it intends. How we want cats.
Hold on. Look. Mira. Look.
Is what
Come here. No, come here.
And what you want to do.
I'm gonna tickle you.
I love you.
Oh, Kwanda, he says hi back. That's him singing to you all is how he says hi back. So sharing moments like that, I think me being able to be more open with you that like not everything is hearts and bubbles will help you with your journey as well, because I get my ass kicked all the time. And so that is what I wanted to cover with you today, and kind of just be open and explain to you why, kind of like the why behind how things are going to be changing and what you see, the mindset that I have behind it, and if there's anything more that you want me to dive into, and in any way, always, you're always welcome to DM me or talk to me in the comments, and, we can go a little bit further in a lot of these things. But at the end, my goal is for us to always win, and for all of us to win. And I understand my space now for me to help you win is through sharing my experiences, so you don't have to. Or you make the decision that you want to, and you know what to expect in the end. So hopefully all of this was beneficial to you. Let me know, in a DM or later on that, you want to see more of this. just to share. I'm still debating if I'm going to repost this onto social media or if I'm just going to keep it for my subscribers. You have a wonderful Saturday, and if you are in my newsletter, I will see you on Monday. If not, I will catch you on the gram another time. Okay, bye.